Wildcats, they like to get up and down, they like to shoot plenty of threes, and Bryce Cotton is a man. Have a look at those numbers. The last time he played Adelaide went completely berserk, but he is coming off a quiet game. So check him out. He's involved in the Sportsbet Same Game Multi. You need to jump on Sportsbet's feed to find it. But this game, the Wildcats and the Sixers, will be an absolute beauty.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Shot clock winding down. Finds his way inside. What about the move? Oh my. Davis showing them some tricks and another two. Unbelievable performance from Bryce Cotton. He sides his way inside and lays it up. Davis retakes the lead with a monster three. Bryce for three. 50 for Bryce Cotton. Kendrick Davis in transition. Catch it. Bryce Cotton finishes the play with a dunk. My goodness me! Davis fades away. Oh, Kendrick Davis. Cotton, nothing is beyond the man. He goes from half court.
Saturday night hoops in Adelaide, 5th against 8th. It's a crunch time clash for the 36ers if they're to play a part in the finals. The Wildcats are hurting after a 34-point loss to Illawarra. As the silly season unfolds, what are we in for tonight? The last time these two teams met, Cotton and Davis combined for 86 points. And on cue, a gift for Kendrick, Phoenix Cuttajar delivering the game ball thanks to Kmart. A big one in the sold-out Adelaide. Welcome to our coverage. The Mitsubishi Motors ladder, Narrowly Meadows, Pete Hooley, as well as Damon Larry alongside me. Hools, that ladder just tells you how big tonight is.
It's huge. If Adelaide want to continue their season, they need to start winning and winning now. So I'm excited for this one. Two teams that don't like to play defense at all, much like Damon doesn't like to wear pants, but it's going to be a good one.
Saturday night. Left me hanging again. Hey, look, this game's going to be huge. Offensive fireworks is what I'm expecting. This is a must-win if you're the Adelaide 36ers because their next 4 games against the top 4 teams, so they better come with something tonight or it's going to get ugly.
We're going to be talking about two men in particular, Kendrick Davis and Bryce Cotton, all night long because last time it was Cotton who put in 49 points and Davis who put in 37 points. They're firing.
Yeah, well, it's this matchup which is going to have a lot to say with how this game plays out. You have a look at their season averages. Bryce Cotton probably leading the MVP race right now, and Kendrick Davis is putting up some of the best numbers from a first-year import we've ever seen in the 40-minute era. The problem is when it comes about his MVP race is they're just not winning basketball games. They need to do it. But Bryce Cotton, you know he's the heart and soul of this Perth Wildcats team. And the fact that Adelaide have struggled mightily in defending anything means Bryce Cotton should be feeling very good about himself when he comes into this stadium.
He had that incredible hot patch, but then only 13 points in the shock. Big loss to Illawarra. So is he going to be fired up? Is it watch out 36ers tonight?
I think it might be because, yeah, he ran into that defensive buzzsaw in Wollongong. Didn't score in the last 3 quarters of that game. So him and Kendrick Davis, they're going to be going at it. I think there's a mutual respect between them two. Bryce sees the potential and obviously the ability that Kendrick has. And Kendrick wants to take it upon himself to try to shut Bryce down a little bit.
And we will hear from him a little bit later in his mutual respect for Bryce Cotton, but he did say, I owe him one. So he is fired up for this clash, Hools.
Looking forward to it. Again, he's an ultra competitor. You know he's going to put the team on his back. They're going to need to have a very big game from him.
Montrez Harrell, we heard from John Riley, the coach of the Wildcats, who even conceded himself that the energy that he brings to this house is immense. When he's up and going, they love it here.
When he is up and going, he is a force to be reckoned with. Last couple games been a little bit quiet by his standards. And they're going to need Trez at his most emotional but under control self for them to get the dub tonight.
He's going to have to be big, and I believe it's been his decision to come off the bench. So he's going to be coming off the bench, and that's on him because he's had those down games, and he understands when he comes in, they're going to feed him the rock, and he's going to try and get this crowd involved.
They've had injuries, they've had suspensions, but tonight they're near full strength with the return of captain DJ Vasiljevic. What does he bring to this team? Leadership as well as class.
Spirit. DJ brings spirit to this group. The last couple of games, I feel like they have played with low spirit. So DJ's going to come in here. We know what he's going to do on the offensive end, but he's going to generate some enthusiasm and get this crowd involved. Not that the crowd needs much.
It is absolutely rocking in here already. The fourth member of our team tonight, of course, the great local boy, John Casey.
Thanks very much, Nerily. Good evening, everyone. It's South Australia's birthday today, proclaimed a city in 1836, hence the name of the team. And the fans are hoping that the 188th birthday can be celebrated with a win. Of course, big news is that Jarrell Martin starts for the third time this season. Montrezl Harrell comes off the bench, and DJ Vasiljevic, after missing 5 games with a hamstring injury, also to come off the bench. I'm told he and Montrez will check into the game in tandem in the opening quarter. For the Wildcats, they're going with the same 5 from their last game, who lost in Wollongong by 32 points 6 days ago. It's the biggest defeat in nearly 6 years for the Wildcats, but they've been good at bouncing back because they won their last 6 games coming off defeat. Their last back-to-back defeats came in round 3 in October. They played here 3 weeks ago, these teams, both in front in the last quarter. Let's hope we get another tight one here as the Wildcats control the tip. And they've had their way with Adelaide recently. They've won 6 of the last 7, but Kendrick Davis has stolen it from Henschel. Can't finish it off, though, and David Aquera puts a stop to it.
This is something to watch here. The young fella, Rasmussen, going against Bryce Cotton. He's going to test him out early. Oh, we said he was going to be in for a big one. I'm not so sure. Do you like the starting matchup?
No, I don't like it one little bit, but I'm telling you, this is going to be a track meet, and Bryce just effortlessly pulled up in transition for his 3. We could see a big one, Pete.
Davis, pocket pass, finds Humphries, wheeling and dealing, spinning inside for Adelaide's first score. Nice finish from the big man Humphries, who was good against Perth the last time they played. He had 25 points, 5 rebounds in 32 minutes. One of his better games for the season. This is Cotton again firing. He's fouled by Rasmussen. And 3 free throws to come.
The courage of Mike Wells to start Keanu Rasmussen and put him on Bryce Cotton. This is incredible. I mean,
have a look at him now. He's face guarding and basically playing a box and 1, but look how easily Bryce just shakes him off. And there's all that space, and you've got Bryce Cotton, the best scorer in the league. He doesn't need that much space to be able to get freedom, and just one simple fake back cut, and he's open.
If he's going to get pinned like that, Jarrell Martin's going to have to step out there and show, make somebody else get the ball, because Bryce will get 50.
Couldn't agree more. I really think that they were torched. 49 the last time he was here, as we know. It was the first time in 119 games on the road in his career that Bryce had had 40 away from home. But they got torched by him. They need to double team him. They need to triple team him. Get him away from the ball and let someone else, or have someone else try and beat you. This is Davis again. 2-man game with Humphries. Outside, Mayan fires, and he needs to pick up as well.
I think Mayan can definitely deliver a lot more for them. He started the season off exceptionally well, you remember, at Hoops Fest, but that's a long time ago. They need some other guys to be able to be consistent scorers.
Now Munson with the O-board kept it alive. Henschel gets another look and makes the adjustment. This is 2 from deep, the Wildcats.
This is a shooter's gym. I mean, I'm just sitting here just watching the rotation of the ball. Guys just feeling real comfortable about their jump shots. This is the first shootout game, right, Pete?
Davis with it. Shot clock rolls to 10. Rasmussen puts it on the deck against Cotton. Kicks outside. Martin been good from deep. Not on this occasion. Rasmussen got a piece of it. But Aquera came up with a loose ball. Still starting in advance of Keanu Pinder. Spoke to Coach John Rillie pre-game.
Oh, boy.
As Whitler knocks down the 3. That doing a good job from deep now. 3 of 3. They've opened up a 7-point lead.
Well, defense hasn't just been an option or an optional choice for Adelaide. It's been non-existent. They have really struggled to defend anything.
Mayan picks up the dribble, needs help. Rasmussen puts it on the deck. Shot clock to red numbers. Mayan dislodged the ball. Good pressure from Almanzit. Worried him out of the points, but they get it back with a loose ball, and it's a shot clock violation. But it hit the rim, according to referee James Griggle. So they'll reset, and they're going to confirm that. But speaking to John Rillie, I asked about Keanu Pinder, and if he sees him as a starter at some stage. He's missed the last 2 games he's played. He's come off the bench and missed games prior to that. And John Rillie said, absolutely, he is a starting member. Just a matter of working him back into the rotation. So we'll watch this space.
Is he a starter member on this particular team? This particular season, Case?
That's right. No, we were talking about this season with Perth. So at some stage in the not too distant future, I would suspect because he brings so much to the table. And we saw that earlier in the season as they reset the shot clock back to 12.
He
but
was getting 22 minutes a game.
he had 34 against the Kings earlier in the season, a career best. We know what he can bring to the table. But at the moment, he comes off the bench. This is Kendrick Davis. Humphreys against Aquera. Takes him on. Can't finish.
It's great defense from Ben Henshaw to fight over the screen. Basically refused to get screen to allow him that drops defense to recover.
Good job from Rasmussen there to shut down Bryce Cotton. Windler, though, is dangerous. Hit one. This time off the mark. First miss from deep for Perth. They lead by 7. We've played 3 minutes in this opening quarter, and Kendrick Davis saw an opening in the keyway. Rejected by Windler. Came to Humphreys for the finishing touches.
Kendrick Davis in the open court is absolute lightning. You got to make sure your defense in transition. You got to show him a wall, because he can beat anybody one-on-one.
Angel reset, shot clock roll to single numbers. Todd Withers, a former Adelaide player, and Pinder, the former 36er, about to check in. We're doing a great job. Grabs the O-board. Presents another opportunity here for Perth. They coughed it up. Davis with Cotton to beat. Steps beyond him. Feeds Mayan from close range. He adds the 2.
One thing I'll give the young fella Rasmussen credit for is he's making Bryce Cotton have to work hard now. The problem is, Bryce Cotton, we've seen it. He doesn't get tired. He's just got a different level of a motor than anybody else's. Windler, backdoor, gets upstairs.
Yeah, now he's offensively fit, and he's going to wear you down, and he ain't going to be sitting out playing 22 minutes a game. You're going to get 38 minimum minutes out of Bryce.
Davis exploring. Hands over. Matt Mayan with it now. Rasmussen puts it on the deck against Cotton. Red numbers on the shot clock for the 36ers. Looks for some penetration in traffic. Talked out of the points. Gets after the loose ball. And the continuation waved away as Mayan pulls off the 3.
They got to do a better job, Adelaide. You got Jarrell Martin out there on the floor. He had Ben Henshaw guarding him. That is a mismatch. Jarrell does not need to come up and set a ball screen. But he did anyway, and then he had Bryce on him, and he still didn't get the ball. And now Jarrell is going to the bench. I just feel like Adelaide are missing out on opportunities.
Bring in Montrezl Harrell and DJ Vasiljevic. Good to see him back on the court.
Nice warm round of applause from the fans as well. A 10th consecutive sellout on the season for Adelaide. Davis against Withers, trying to draw a foul. Umpires, the referees weren't buying it. Now Bryce Cotton back up the floor for Perth. Windler seems to be improving week on week in his debut NBL season. Here's Cotton once more, this time against Davis inside. Almanza with the left hand, talked out of it. Mayan had a piece of it. Almanza stayed with it, still can't convert, and Humphreys eventually stops it. Here's Davis, wants Vasiljevic, his first look. He's a little deep, overcooked it, Windler.
They got to control the rebounds. They're the worst rebounding team in the competition. You see Perth's energy on the offensive glass.
Windler gets it from Pinder. Working against Harrell, now Cotton. Finds Windler in the corner. He fires, yes. 4 of 5 from deep. The Wildcats lead here by 8.
I've been saying it all season. That lefty stroke is as pure as they come. When he gets his feet set and he's aggressive, that's cash.
Wasn't too much effort to try and get out on that shot either. Said a pregame, apparently Montrezl Harrell, it's his choice to come off the bench after some poor games. He wants to refocus and see the game unfold.
Here's Vasiljevic down to the baseline and gets his first points. And Pete, you mentioned Adelaide being the worst rebounding team in the competition. When you look at what they've got in Humphreys and Jarrell Martin and Montrezl Harrell,
Staggering.
How does that happen?
It's a great question. It just shouldn't happen. Even when you've got athletes like Lat Mayan as well, he's had some big rebounding games.
Nick Marshall, athletic.
A lot of that, and even the defensive end, we talk about their struggles. It's an effort thing.
Vasiljevic found some rhythm quickly, knocks down the 3, and Adelaide cut the margin to 3.
Once the score, always the score. Doesn't matter how many games DJ sat out or missed, it's in his DNA.
Spoken like someone who wasn't one.
5 unanswered points from Adelaide in the corner. Pinder overcooked it. Harrell grabs the rebound. So they grab some momentum here, Adelaide. So the margin was out to 8. Vasiljevic ready to go once more, and he is cooking. John Riley's had enough. Vasiljevic has been on the floor here for 2 minutes. He scored 8 points, and Adelaide are back on level terms.
Dylan Windler's been tired. He's the one who's had to get him in transition, and he's fallen asleep. Right here. That was Dylan Windler. He was trying to find where Vasiljevic was, and as soon as he turned his head, right there, he was gone. A step slow. Vasiljevic has already knocked one down.
Let's go to Nerily Meadows, courtside.
Well, some big news, Ian, is that New Zealand Breakers star Parker Jackson Cartwright, his 5-game suspension has been upheld by the single-member tribunal. They had the opportunity to fight for it, but unfortunately that charge of grabbing, pushing or mishandling a game official has been upheld when it comes to the Breakers. They can appeal the single-member tribunal to a full-member tribunal, but I don't believe that will be the case. That means that he'll be available next on Thursday, January 16, up against, you guessed it, Tassie. So a bit of a rematch after that Christmas Day clash for shoving an official. And speaking of the Jack Bumpers, there are reports inaugural player Josh Adams could be set to join the Brisbane Bullets, and that comes after the news that James Bateman has been ruled out for the season with a hamstring injury. So big news all around in the league.
Thanks, Nerily. And Michael Aylan working this game here tonight appears to be okay. I think 5 games seems a little steep to me, but the 6th player to be suspended this season, a record in the NBL. Let's hope we can put the clamps on that.
I wouldn't have gave 5 games. I would have gave him some, maybe 3, but he clearly was, he lost the plot.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So we just cannot have it. It's just a horrible look on the game. And yes, referees cop a lot of grief. They got the toughest job, but they shouldn't be getting manhandled. They shouldn't be getting touched like they did. And just think about it. If Michael Aylan doesn't step in the middle, the way Parker Jackson Cartwright was headed, well, A, he's going to run into a brick wall in Ruben Terrangi, but it definitely would have escalated. So he's just going to have to cop his sweep.
Yeah, I probably thought he might have got a little lucky in the end. I thought he might have been heading down a few more. But in the end, I'm all for also penalising that 3rd man in. I think that's something we've got to be consistent with going forward as well, because that's what escalates every situation. Keep it between whoever's there, and let's see if Gunnar Pinder can feed the Adelaide faithful, who've shown out once again. What a great place this is to come and watch a game of hoops.
He's a former 36er, but he's not prepared to buy them dinner just yet. Interestingly, Adelaide's lineup at the moment with Christie out there, who picked up the foul. So they're going with 5 bench players here. Still more than 3 minutes left on the clock in the opening quarter. The Wildcats likewise. Well, they just have 1 starter out there in Windler. Here's Harrell, muscles his way in close, pushes Pinder out of the way, and had some advice for him on the backtrack as well.
I don't mind if the referee's going to let him play physical like that, no call. It's got to be able to go both ways. I'm cool with it.
Adelaide in front for the first time after they were down by 8 2 minutes ago. Good fight back from them. Vasiljevic with 8 points. Lat May and 5 leading the way. Windler has 8 for Perth, and Bryce Cotton with 6. Cotton had 6 in the first quarter when he was here 3 weeks ago en route to 49. Vasiljevic got away from Pepper, found room for the shot, can't connect, but gets after the loose ball rebound. Cotton preparing to check back into the game as well. Vasiljevic busy. He's energized after 5 games out with a hamstring. Christie was blocked. Perth with a stop. Pepper found Pinder. He goes to work from close range. Can't get it done, but he's off to the free throw line again.
Well, Windler's the only starter on the floor for both teams as Bryce Cotton gets ready to check back in. It's an interesting lineup, especially for Adelaide, who's going to make some subs now. Martin Rasmussen and Kendrick Davis checking in.
Mike Wells got some confidence in Big Ben Grisky. Put him out there in the first quarter. He had to play when Trez was out suspended. And he's done enough to earn the coach's respect to get him some early minutes.
Well, it looks like Mike Wells has set the challenge to the young fella Rasmussen, because he's mirroring substitutions with Bryce Cotton. You saw the way he was guarding him in the first couple of minutes, just sitting on his high side, just trying not to let him touch the ball. He looks fit as well, but as I said, Bryce Cotton's a different level of fitness that we've seen for many years now.
6 of 7 from the stripe, Perth. Adelaide yet to get there.
2-3 zone, ladies and gentlemen.
Rasmussen back to Davis. Shot clock single digits. Jarrell Martin, corner ball. He fires, can't connect.
Wasn't a very good zone offense from Adelaide. Just kind of passed it around the top of the three-point line. There was no high post flashes, no real movement.
Wagstar from deep. They're now 5 of 8 from long range, Perth, and back in front.
The most willing superstar, Bryce Cotton. Happy to pass out of a double team. Guys going to get wide open shots.
Montrezl Harrell picks up the dribble, goes to Vasiljevic. and they work a two-man game. Harold gets to the bucket, adds two, draws a foul. May not look easy.
I didn't mind the zone from Perth. They're trying to find a defensive answer as well, especially on the road where they have struggled. They got to stop. Adelaide looked kind of rattled. They went straight back to man, and that was a nice little pocket pass. Not even a real move from Harold, just got around Pinder and one opportunity.
How long has it taken this case in the NBL to get two Keanus on the floor at the same time?
It'd be a rarity, wouldn't it? Maybe since 1979. A little over a minute out from quarter time in a seesawing affair. It's the Wildcats on top by one. Cotton forced into a tough shot. Tip-in wouldn't work either. After the loose ball, but Perth will get it back.
Now, Pete, if he's going to top block, if Count's going to top block Bryce like that, he goes back door, and you got Trez back there waiting for him, is that a possible defensive tactic? Is that on purpose?
It might be, but again, the problem is, Perth will probably figure it out. You've got guys like Pinder, Withers, good slashers. Dylan Windler, he already has a back door, and as you said, Bryce Cotton's a willing passer.
Pepper elevates. He knocks down the three. That's 6 triples in the opening quarter. It's 67% from Perth. They are free scoring. They got the highest scoring first quarter of the season, 42 points. Here's Rasmussen hard to the rim and coming up with his first score in the game.
Kendrick Davis is doing a good job early distributing the ball. Heads up! Kendrick is getting everybody involved. They iced his ball screen. He kept his dribble alive. Good job by Cameron. Rasmussen cut without the ball. Got rewarded.
Keanu Rasmussen, he and his partner Michaela expecting their first child in April, so congratulations to them.
Little Rassy coming through.
Some are suggesting that's helped his form as well with that exciting news ahead, so congratulations to them both. Here's Harold showing them some tricks and coming up with the goods as well. He's up to 7 on 3 of 3 shooting.
Looking aggressive too.
Ties it away at 26. Shot clock just 1 second inside the game clock as we head toward quarter time.
Look where Kendrick Davis is sitting right now.
Look where Elijah Pepper is.
Wagstaff back to Cotton, double team. They work the ball sweetly. Withers, Henschel outside, high arc on the shot, wouldn't work. Terrell Martin with it. 3/4 court heave on the buzzer, no good. And we are locked together and an entertaining first quarter concludes. It's Adelaide 26, Perth 26. More from a sold-out Adelaide Entertainment Centre right after this.
One member of the couple is blindfolded, the other one is going to navigate them around the court. The team that picks up the most items that you can get at Foodland, of course, will win the $500 shopping voucher to Foodland. So, put your blindfolds on, please. They are really fancy blindfolds tonight, aren't they? There you go. And then remember, you are guiding your partner around. We give you 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Time has started. We are looking around for as many items as possible on the court. Murray is causing chaos, which is wonderful. Now, don't forget to download the Foodland Great Rewards app from your preferred app store. Sign up and scan every time you shop. You're in the draw to win one of hundreds of gift vouchers every month. Automatic entries into competitions with any eligible transaction. You can find your local store. Be the first to know about mighty savings, great food, great savings live here. Andrew and Debbie, Bianca and Daniel, and your time is up. All right, stop, blindfolds off. Sixers squad, what you need to do is quickly have a look at the items. We go 1, 2, 3. There's a fair bit here. Oh, it's very close. So this is where we hope that the Sixers squad can count. How many do you have? You've got 10. The game's about to start. How many do you have? 16 over here. We've got our winners in for you. Give them a massive round of applause. $500 to spend at Foodland. You guys will get a little goodie bag as well. Let's get back to the action. Thanks, Foodland. Download that app.
Great to have your company here in the Hungry Jacks at NBL on a evening in Adelaide. Some Mitsubishi three-pointers for you. Wildcats were hot, 6 of 10 from deep. Adelaide 3 of 9. And TJ Vasiljevic in his first game back after missing 5 with a hamstring injury. Knocked down a couple of triples, has 8 points, and be happy with that start.
Great start by the Adelaide 36ers. They're taking care of the ball. 0 turnovers, got the 6 assists.
And the possession arrow. Davis looks down low. Montrezl Harrell against Aquera. Might like his chances here. Decides to elevate and overcook the shot.
Let him off the hook. Had success going in the rim early on. You see that Dylan Windler, they're ready to double team it. He's going to have a heat check straight out of quarter time if you don't mind.
Nice finish. Mike Wells not happy. Storms back to the bench. He is hot. Windler knocks down the 3. He's got 11 on 4 of 5 shooting, including 3 of 4 from deep.
A 23-second timeout. That's deep water. 1 dribble, splash. Sniper.
He was not happy at all.
Pre-game, Nerily Meadows caught up with Kendrick Davis.
Last time you two played each other, 86 points between you and Mr. Bryce Cotton. What do you think of him as a player and a person?
Yeah, man, like I told everybody, I grew up watching him. So it was, to share the court with him was great. I grew up really watching him, and yeah, man, I finally got a chance to play against him, and then I got his number. We got a chance to talk, exchange numbers, and this summer I'm gonna spend some time with him, work with him. But yeah, man, I felt like a kid, you know, in a candy store. So yeah, it was exciting, and I hate that he came in here, but I told him I owed him one. Once we get on this court, that goes out the window, but the respect stays there. But you know, I still do whatever I can to beat him.
So maybe it's you dropping 50 tonight.
Man, whatever, 10, 5, 0. As long as we win, we need to get a win, most importantly, more than me and him. We need to win. They feel like they need to win. So, man, whatever my team need me to do to win, we're going to do that.
Having a great season, Kendrick Davis. Here's Harrell going to work, and with authority puts a lid on 2.
That's just too easy. I don't know what David Aquera is doing off the ball. I mean, absolutely no resistance whatsoever.
On top, Trez. Well, I spoke about the possession before. Let him off the hook. He's had success just putting his head down.
I mean, we wasn't expecting a beautiful defensive game, but
that's an understatement.
We can definitely do a little bit better than that.
9 points on 4 of 5 for Montrezl Harrell off the bench as we go to Nerily Meadows.
You mentioned it was a quick timeout. Well, I can tell you Mike Wells was absolutely fuming. 7th insert explosive 3. Get to them and defend them. 7 out of 11 threes the Wildcats have shot. He's not happy the 36ers coach.
Make that 8 of 12. Get a hand.
Nerily.
Get a hand to Dylan Windler. You talked about Rasmussen playing better with a baby on the way. Well, congratulations to the Windler family who welcomed their little one, and this is what happens after you welcome a little one.
Season best is 5 of 8 from deep for Windler. He's got 4 of 5 at the moment from close range. Harrell can't convert, loose ball. Came back to Nick Marshall. Worked his way inside, then lost control of the ball, but Perth couldn't control it either, and Adelaide will get it back.
I mean, Dylan Windler comes into the game shooting 41%. So he means business. You got to know where he is at all times.
Been high on what he can bring to this Perth Wildcats team all season long. He's had to battle through some injuries his entire career. Got him at the wrong time when he had his NBA opportunities. But we're starting to see it recently. He is an exceptional talent.
Averaging 11 points a game, 6 rebounds, so he's top 15 in rebounding, 11th in steals. And as you mentioned, Damon, shooting at 41% from deep and 86% from the free throw line. He's been growing into his rookie NBL season, and it looks like he's got some talent. Here's Almanza with a floater. Come up with his first score in the game.
What a touch. Ball did not rotate at all. I love to see Jermell Martin take the youngster on the block and see what he can get.
Where's Davis? 6 assists in the game already for him. Goes to Jermell Martin, who finishes and draws a foul.
Do we understand how good this man is? He can do more than just space the floor and shoot threes. He's got great size, great athleticism, very underrated athletically. he's just in a different kind of a spot on this particular team. I like to see them just change it up. It's not too late. Get this guy involved, and you got yourself a whole new team.
Mission from the stripe as well. Sherelle Martin at 82% this season coming into this game. And Adelaide closed the gap to 3. Almost 2 minutes played here. Second quarter action from Adelaide as the 12 games of Christmas continue in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Aquera left alone at the top of the key. He's off the mark. Hasn't got a piece of it. Made a skid after it quickly, but only succeeded in knocking it down out of bounds.
I'm wondering how long Perth are going to keep running the ball screen up Bryce Cotton. See if they can just flatten it out and let Bryce have some action one-on-one with no extra defenders.
That was always coming. That was always coming. Keanu Rasmussen's got to know. Once Bryce went over to the ref and said, watch him holding me, he fouled me 3 times. The very next possession.
Only the 4th foul on Adelaide. Second on Rasmussen, though. First in this term. Cotton lost control of it and shut down. Harold blocked the shot. After Cotton tried to recover, and now a chance for Adelaide. Davis, foot on the accelerator, kicks to the corner. Latman is blocked by Bryce Cotton at the other end.
Now there's something you don't see every day, Pete.
Well, he gets up there.
He definitely can get up. Chase. He missed the shot on one end, runs 93 feet and blocks a 3-pointer.
Block number 6 on the season for Bryce Cotton.
Jacob Rigoni checking into the game here. Mike Wells going further into the bench as Rasmussen checks out.
Hiram Harris checking in for the first time for Perth tonight as well, celebrating his 50th game for the Wildcats. Actually played 49 here in Adelaide. Hiram Harris, been a good contributor everywhere he's been. His 6th year in the league, 115 games, starting with the Hawks. Here's Martin, rejected by Windler, came to Pinder, and now Cotton running. Perth by 3, almost 3 minutes played, term number 2. Pinder puts it on the deck, kicks to the corner. The danger man's got it, guarded by Rigoni. Likes his chances, baseline needs help. Cotton, shot clock to single digits. Davis has the job on Cotton, bumps into Sherelle Martin, who's going to be called for the foul, and it's Martin's first personal.
See how hard he's having to work, Bryce Cotton, but like I said, he's not slowing down. He's going to continue to run off multiple actions.
To your point earlier, Pete, all these ball screens that Bryce get, teams that double him, gets it out of his hands. You watch as the game goes on, the game that he had to 59, all of a sudden they get a little tired. They don't trap as aggressively. They start to be a little late. Bryce starts turning the corner, he gets some fouls. Next thing you know, he's shooting free throws.
We ran this action before on the opposite side with the silent out of bounds. It was this little down screen there on dribble handoff right here. This is where after he gets the ball, just clear out. Just clear out and let him have a little shake action. Just like this.
Firing over May, and he did a good job to stay in front of him. Rigoni drags down the rebound, and now Kendrick Davis with it. 7 assists already for Kendrick Davis, but he hasn't scored, none of 3 from the field. That will change shortly. This time looking to dish to Humphries. It was knocked down by Pinder and came to Windler.
It's about time for some DJ music, ain't it?
Well, only 5 points for Adelaide here in 3.5 minutes of this term as Hiram Harris opens his account.
DJ had a great first quarter.
1.5 minutes. He played in the first quarter.
Well, he's on a minute's restriction, and they're looking to back-end it.
That's it.
It's a plague.
Well, I'll tell you what, both strength and conditioning coaches came up to me before the game. Jerome Martin steps out of bounds saying, where's Damon? I've seen him. He doesn't want to come up and talk to it. You were ducking them.
Get out of here.
They said they wanted to have some words, and you were ducking them.
I ain't hard to find.
Well, actually, I went back to the green room, and you were chucking up the Z's. As DJ checks into the game now.
So he looks like he's on that 24, 25-minute thingamajiggy. So we'll see, but DJ's going to get him up. And they need every one of them, too.
Well, he averages 33 minutes a game in the 12 games that he's played this season, so he won't get to that number, you suspect.
What?
From wild range, caught the deep as well. And well done, Keanu Pinder, to keep that alive, knock it down out of bounds off Isaac Humphries.
Oh, see, Dylan's got that shooting arrogance. He'll just pull up from wherever. I love it.
I thought there was only 3 guys in the league with that license. I don't mind it.
We've got Cotton, we've got Golding.
And Vasiljevic.
And DJ.
Well, I think you can Windler shooting.
This Pinder taking on Humphries and earning a trip to the free throw line.
To be honest, I might have to put Casey Prather in there soon too, Case.
Yes.
The way he's shooting the rock.
No doubt about that at all. Montrezl Harrell had a brief rest. He's going to check in and Jarrell Martin will sit down. Pinder to the free throw line. And there you see in the Reebok seats, it's Be The One, the content creators. About 153,000 TikTok followers. And notice that, Damon, that they sat them as influencers right next to Pete Hooley. And I'm not sure if there's a barrier between them, if he's with us or if he's with them.
What kind of content them dudes creating?
He's shuffling down a little closer to the content creators, I think.
Oh, that's a stitch-up. Another offensive rebound coming for Perth here. There's just extra energy.
I feel like Mike Wells is reinventing himself as a coach game by game. The team, is the way they're playing is dictated. He's now changing things up. He's playing a lot of guys, more minutes early. As Dylan misses the righty, he's going deep in his bench early in the game. He doesn't mind. He's taking treads in and out. Jarrell's coming in and out. Guys gonna have to do the right thing by Mike Wells, or you're gonna be sitting.
So they've used 11 players already, Adelaide. Here's Pinder, has support from Henschel. Nice. Reverse finish, but it wouldn't work off the glass. Kept alive by Windler. And here's Hiram Harris against his former team, kicking outside to the danger man. And he's knocked down another. That's 5 of 7 from deep for Windler. He has 17.
They've only credited for 6 offensive rebounds, but the amount of extra ones that have gone out of bounds that'll go down as team O-boards. 17 points. Dylan Windler, he's lights out.
Closing in on his season high. Windler had 20. He's also got 16 boards in a game as well. And three-point shooting from Perth has been exceptional. 9 of 16. Adelaide 3 of 11.
Now, Hiram Harris can knock down the 3, but if you're Montrezl Harrell, you don't have to close out to him like he's Steph Curry. See there on that Amy replay. You've got to close out under control because then your teammates had to rotate and you left the hottest shooter in the floor wide open.
Former first-round draft pick in Cleveland. And Humphries from close range adds the finishing touches. He's up to 6.
Nice little screen-to-screener action out of the corner. You got to get the big fellas involved. So they'll rebound and set picks for you.
Likes his chances against Humphries. That's a tough finish, but he comes up with his first field goal in the game, Keanu Pinder, and now has 6 points to his name.
Essentially playing 4-on-4. The way that Rasmussen's sitting on Bryce Cotton's lap, wherever he's on the floor.
Good pass.
Well, Vasiljevic is left open. Lap of honour and jumped out. Cotton gets it now. Restricted him to just 4 shots in the game so far. Rasmussen with 2 fouls as part of that, though, as Wagstaff elects to pull the trigger. Couldn't get it done. Windler athletically, but couldn't control the rebound. Now a chance for Kendrick Davis. Still looking for his first points. And here's Montrezl Harrell going to work, drawing a foul, blocking foul. It's going to be called here on Jesse Wagstaff.
John really turned to the bench, asked him to have a quick look at it.
He could ask me. That's a block all day, every day. I'm not a fan of too, Pete. Like, Bryce is playing the point. He's bringing the ball up. He's happy, you know, he got a 9-point lead. The ball is Dylan Windler sitting down for some reason. Anyway, but to get Bryce at his best, he's got to kind of be off the ball at some point. So if he wants to finish the quarter like this, but like you say, if you just ice on him, I'm going to put my money on him to go at Keanu Rasmussen one-on-one all day.
And it doesn't have to be as soon as he walks the ball up the floor. You can get some side-to-side action running off screens, but as soon as he gets that ball back to the top of the key, just flatten out. Let him have that one-on-one opportunity and really test out Rasmussen. If every time you bring in an extra ball screen, you're just bringing an extra defender for him to have to try and work to get around.
Montrezl Harrell now into double figures, leads Adelaide. Windler with 17 leads Perth. Jesse Wagstaff picked up a flop warning in that play as well, and Sean really is not happy about it. Here's Cotton working into the paint, stops and pops, whistle on the play as well. And he's off to the free throw line, and again it's Keanu Rasmussen, his 3rd personal.
Here we go. Now, Bryce and Jesse Wagstaff, very special relationship. They do that sneaky war, giddy, Andrew Gay's kind of stuff. Pass it to you, wink, I'm going to go over here. And this is where it starts, Pete. Bryce gets himself to the strike.
Rasmussen sits down, which means it's going to be Lat Mayen in this lineup. Trying to use the length on Bryce Cotton.
Perth racking up the free throws, 9 of 11. Adelaide 3 of 4 in that category. It's a double-figure lead for the first time in the game. 3.5 left on the clock here until half-time. Montrezl Harrell sizes up Pinder, goes straight at him, adds 2. He's now got 12 on 5 of 7 shooting. Pinder puts it on the deck against Humphries, caught him out of position, and on the back pedal, Humphries is going to be called for his second personal. More free throws to come for Perth.
Trez is upset. Trez wanted the and one on the other end. But when Keanu's playing downhill, I've said it before and I'll say it again, he plays with a violent intent. When he makes up his mind he's going to the basket, good luck to you.
He's a little shaky from the free throw line in this game. Pinder missed a free throw in each of his 4 trips there. And now he's missed 2. And South Australia are getting burgers courtesy of a former Adelaide player. The code word is tipped. Get to the NBL app, Hungry Jack's button, and fire away for a free cheeseburger courtesy of Keanu Pinder.
Just watching his free throw action, doesn't look like he's completely finishing his follow through. He's very sharp on the end. And that's why I think they're coming up a little short.
Improving in that area. Keanu Pinder, 71% this season. Poor pass from Wagstaff intended for Cotton was cut out by Mayen. The 2 11s go at it, and Lat Mayen adds to his tally. He's now up to 7.
And that's what they're going to need. I mean, that was a sloppy turnover by Jesse Wagstaff, but good job by Lat Mayen being in the passing lane. As Dylan Whelan gets ready to check back in.
Here's Bryce Cotton showing them some tricks and comes up with a finish. He's got 11 now, including 2 of 3 from deep.
That's what he can do. If you just let him play one-on-one, he's so shifty. He creates that space with the step back, especially going left like he did there. Just give him the space. Don't bring the extra defenders to it.
Here's Vasiljevic. Tough shot. Couldn't finish it. Montrezl Harrell with a monster O-board. He likewise couldn't hit the target, though, and now Cotton is running. Keppert ahead of him. He's going to pull up and fire and drain another 3. Back-to-back triples from Cotton is up to 14.
That was never missing. He's so patient as a scorer, too. He's already hit the 1. He's got the free throw. Sorry, Pete. No, that's just a rhythm. That might as well be a layup for him.
As soon as he got that ball off that missed shot from Harrell, that was always going up. You have to run and meet him at the half-court line and make him go around you and hope you've got some help. Put trust in your other defenders. He just knocked one down.
14 points now for Cotton. Let's get to Nerily Meadows, who pre-game spoke with Dylan Windlow.
First of all, importantly, congratulations, new dad. How's it all going?
It's been good so far. You know, no news is good news. Baby's been good, mom's been good, so we're just got home a few days ago, so just happy to be home with the baby, and things are going good.
You don't have too many bags under the eyes, not too tired or anything?
Yeah, not too bad. I didn't get much sleep the first couple of days, but last couple of days I was able to get some sleep, so I'm grateful for it.
Congratulations to Dylan and his partner. It was an exciting time. And he's certainly celebrating in style here at the moment. 17 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 5 of 7 from deep, as I mentioned, season best of 20. Spent 4 years in the NBA, played over 100 games with career highs of 15 points and 10 rebounds. And most recently with the Westchester Knicks in the G League, where he averaged 13 and 8 and dragged down a G League record, 33 rebounds in a single game.
That's lunacy. How the hell you do something like that? I like his body language after he makes a 3. He's not even surprised. He's like, you guys over there making a big deal about this. This is what I do.
This is exactly what he does. And I'll tell you who else loves the fact that he's lining it up is Bryce Cotton, because it means whoever's guarding Dylan Windler all of a sudden gets a step closer.
Here's Harrell hard at the rim as well, drawing contact, and he goes back to the free throw line. Difficult man to contain once he's got feet inside the paint, Montrezl Harrell.
When you look at the 5 Adelaide got on the floor right now, Kendrick Davis has only attempted 3 shots. He's got the 7 assists, which is incredible. He's going to have to turn it on at some point because as a collective defensive unit, Perth are already sitting on 50. You got to figure they're going to add another 8 to 10 case this quarter. So they got to try to outshoot them because they're not going to be able to stop them.
Wildcats with highest first half of the season, a 69-point effort. And they've also got the highest second half of the season as well. They cranked up 74 points in a half.
I think this is a better matchup right now as Kendrick Davis uses his speed, quickness. He's exceptional with when Bryce Cotton has the ball.
Wagstaff off the mark. And a chance for Adelaide. Find themselves down 11 and Davis goes on with a dribble. Withers right there with him. And steps back from Withers, pulls the trigger, it's off the mark. So none of 4 from the field for Kendrick Davis, none of 2 from deep. Cotton kicks outside, Wagstaff, here's the danger man, Windler, a career best 6 threes here in the NBL for Dylan Windler.
Got to rotate. Everyone's focused on Bryce Cotton. As we know, everybody in the league is focused on Bryce Cotton. But he's going to be a willing passer.
Contact on that occasion, and Bryce Cotton will be called for the foul. Going to be his second personal, and free throws to come now. Both teams in the bonus.
Mad at himself, Bryce, for fouling, putting Adelaide to the free throw line, but just got his hands in, thought he could get one. Just got to be disciplined in that situation, but to your point, Pete, if you don't rotate, you got to rotate more than just one time. You rotate the first time, they make the extra pass, and Dylan Winters in the corner shooting layups.
They've been slow. They've been really slow on their secondary rotations, and it's a lack of effort for sure. Your work's not done. Just because you get the ball out of Bryce Cotton's hands doesn't mean it's over.
First score in the game for Kendrick Davis, just the one free throw. Gets to the stripe more than any other player in the NBL, Kendrick Davis, and completes it at 80%. Only 50 on that first trip. Wagstaff, again, rattles a 3 around.
And Jesse can make that shot clearly, but I would have loved to see him kick it one more over to Dylan.
Davis double team, gets it to Martin in turn. Vasiljevic, who works inside Hiram Harris, confronted by Withers. He draws contact, and Todd Withers will pick up his first foul, and DJ Vasiljevic is heading to the free throw line.
Yeah, it looks like the Sixers are going to let Jesse Wagstaff tee off when he knows he can fill it up from out there instead of Windler and Bryce Cotton. I think it was on. The extra one was on.
When these teams met 3 weeks ago at halftime, it was 60-54 in favour of Adelaide. Nick Marshall checks in.
This is a classic, Pete, 2 for 1. Everybody flattened out. Bryce come down, just pull top of the key.
I don't think they'll go for a 2 for 1. It'll be exceptionally quick. They'll just get a good one.
So Adelaide have now taken 9 free throws in this quarter after being just 1 of 1 from the stripe in term number 1. They trail by 11. This is Cotton with it now. Shot clock 8 seconds inside the game clock. Cotton harassed by Davis in a tremendous battle. The league's 2 leading scorers head-to-head. Gets it back from Wagstaff now against Martin. Vasiljevic trying to drag it away from him, forces the jump ball.
Good help by DJ. A little bit of a lollipop. That pass stayed in there too long. DJ saw it coming. Just got in there and tied it up. Good job by Nick Marshall as well.
Timeout called by the Perth Wildcats. Lead by 11 seconds left on the clock.
3 seconds on the shot clock. So that's why the timeout call from John Riley. See what they can draw up. I'd love to see this ball end in Dylan Windler's hands. He's 6 of 8 from deep. 20 points on the half.
Been impressive. And training a little bit earlier today for the Perth Wildcats. Had a special guest in the form of Adelaide Crows coach Matthew Nix at training.
Greatness.
And we put that up for Pete because he's a Crows tragic. But John really has formed relationships with Matthew Nix and also with the head coaches at West Coast and Fremantle back in WA. Exchange of ideas and learnings, and certainly terrific to have someone like Matthew Nix along at training. He's in the house here tonight with his family as well. But certainly they can share some intel that hopefully will help both organisations.
We see a lot of that. We see a lot of coaches from different codes mingling, sharing ideas and whatnot.
Nix is just back from Harvard, I want to say, in the United States on a fact-finding mission, and I guess any help that John Rillie can provide will be well worthwhile for the Crows. Have been out of the finals for a while, Pete.
It's all right, we'll be top 4 this year, Case.
Said that last year they were.
Keep an eye on Dylan Windler here for the quick 1-2.
Lob pass, Pinder. Whistle on the play as well.
11.
And Lat Mayen's going to be called for the foul. His first personal, but they're over the limit. Free throws to come.
I'm like Wells, I'm having a look at this. It didn't look like there was a heap in that. There's no timeouts left in the half to challenge it anyway.
Lat didn't seem too disappointed. It's almost like he was surprised he got caught. 2 hands right there. We couldn't. Oh, yeah, nice. Little grab.
As soon as you get the little hug motion.
Pinder now 5 of 9 from the free throw line. His career best is 14 of 20 from the free throw line when he was playing with the Taipans. So he can make himself a menace in the paint and get to the stripe. And right now it's a 13-point lead for Perth. Adelaide looking for the last play and maybe to build some momentum here into the halftime break. Davis pulls up, fires over Pinder. It's short on the rim. Withers grabs the rebound, and the Wildcats have taken the early honours here thanks to a terrific first half. 20 points, including 6 of 8 threes from Dylan Windler, has powered the Wildcats to a 13-point lead. Perth 55, Adelaide 42. That's impressive, and a big hole for Adelaide to dig them way out of.
Adelaide's in trouble. They are clearly in trouble, down 13 at home. The crowd, which they had in their pocket a little while ago, it's all of a sudden seemed kind of quiet in here, Case.
Sure does. Let's get some reaction courtside with Neroli.
We've got Dylan Windler. Clearly fatherhood agrees with you. 6 from 8 from 3, 20 points at halftime. How have you seen it?
Man, I just came out with good energy. My teammates finding me. And, you know, when you get it going, just knocking down shots, just sticking with it.
You've got a pretty handy gap at the moment, but they keep coming back every time that you've created that gap. So what do you need to focus on in this second half?
Just defense. Our defense is giving us a lead right now, 55 points. It's kind of average where we're at this year. But, you know, 42 on the defensive end, being able to hold them to that is the reason we're up 13. So we just got to keep playing defense, try to hold them under 80, 90 this game. I think we'll win.
Your teammates are saying drop 40. What about 50?
Yeah, I'm going to go for whatever I can, that's for sure.
Enjoy the break.
Appreciate it.
He'll need it. 20 points on 7 of 10 shooting, 6 of 8 threes for Dylan Windler, equals his season best so far in the NBL. He's been great. Montrezl Harrell's been great as well. And we've got a special feature on him at halftime. Stick around for that if you're a Montrezl Harrell fan. We've got more for you from Adelaide right after this.
We've been waiting for this one. Your favourite actor's back. Can you please make some noise for the Sixers squad of the Sixers Dunk Show?
Take off the foo-foo, take off the couches, take off the Wi-Fi, take off the uniform, take off the car loan, take off the flex from the White House, take off the real red jewelry, I'm gonna take 3 steps, then take it off top off. Take off the fake shoes, and the money what you need, this is a real world outside. Take off the items, take off the rubber, take off the comedy, take off the phone, go to bed, 5 days straight, take off the meal, and the family. Take off the fuck run, take off the section, take off the cop with the iPad, take off the home road, take off the shield, take off the sanctions, I'm mad.
All right, let me know if you guys in the 13, 14. 13, 14. Yeah. And can you see if you got those in 13, 14? Yeah. I've been grabbing these too. All right, these too. Yep. 13, 14. Yeah. I've always been a person that was big in the shoes. I always had a thing for, you know, sneakers, the sneaker collection, man. I used to watch all the shows and all the different inside the closets that people had, and they showcased their sneaker collection, man. It was just one of those things that kind of became therapeutic for me. So my collection is crazy. I've been collecting shoes probably since my freshman year of college. So I have over anywhere between 5,000 to 10,000 pair of shoes. Everybody has that thing that they're into, you know, so sneakers happen to be one of the things that I'm into. Sneakers, jewelry, and my old school cars. That's the three things that I'm probably spent the most of my money on. And then my fourth thing I'll probably say is like fishing. I got a nice sized John boat because I have a pond in my backyard back home in Georgia. I have my own like 2.5 acre pond, and I stock with fish, bass, crappie, catfish, bluegill, you name it. I just, stocked it with fish because that's what I like to do. You know, it's like kind of like my safe haven getaway. Adelaide is a great small city, but it's a quiet city, and it's actually one of those cities that they get behind their sports teams. You know, no matter whether it's men's, women's, football here. You feel me? They actually a real cultural group as far as pushing and being behind their organization and teams. And you know, you feel that all throughout the city. We got a great group of guys, man. We're constantly still building. You know, every game that we have lost except for 2, I think we've been in the game, really. So, man, it's about stacking wins and continue to keep building, you know, being better than you was the last game, pretty much. So, yeah, I definitely think we have the opportunity to be able to do something special for this club. I think we've had, 4 home games so far, and I think almost every one of them has been sold out, man. So it just goes to show you what this community, this place is striving for, you know, something to, you know, something that you can remember in the city and the place for, you know, a lifetime to come.
There's no doubt he's brought energy and entertainment, and they absolutely love him here in Adelaide. Montrezl Harrell with 13 points and 4 rebounds in the first half, but they need more from him and his teammates because at the moment it is the home side. The 36ers down 42 to 55, 13 points the margin in the Hungry Jacks NBL round 14 action. Nerily Meadows, Damon Larry and Pete Hooley alongside me. The Hungry Jacks highlights the Perth Wildcats. Dylan Windler with 20 points, 6 from 8 from 3. He is on fire.
This is what happens when you're a dad for the first time. This is what happens. You just find this extra. You turn into a hero, a superhero. But this is what Dylan Windler can do. This is what he's done in his career. He can step out and shoot the 3. He's getting easier looks because of the way they're guarding Bryce Cotton, but he's also playing with supreme confidence. And I love his knack on the rebounding. One thing you can never question about Windler is his effort. He's crashing the boards hard, and right now he's really enjoying the defense that Adelaide's really not playing on him, and he's filling it up.
As we take a look at the Blackmore shot chart, what can they be doing? Because they've conceded 12 threes. What do they need to do to shut him down?
They're not rotating the second time around. They're doing a great job of taking the ball out of Bryce's hands. But once Bryce gets rid of the ball, it's like they think their job is done. Their job is not done when you got a guy like Dylan Windler shooting threes like he is. So they're not getting that second and third rotation. That's what's killing them.
DJ Vasiljevic back for the 36ers. They needed his leadership desperately. He's come off the bench tonight and they've given him a bit of a spark.
A little bit of a spark, but DJ, he's got the 10 points. He's only played 11 minutes and 50 seconds. He's a victim of society's plague, his minutes restrictions. They are in no position to be getting cute. They need DJ out there on the floor for the entire second half. Their season is slipping away, and they don't want it to go down easy with him sitting on the bench.
What do they need to do in this second half to get back into it, Hulls?
They've got to do it together, and that's just watching the second quarter in particular. You talk about not rotating quick enough, Damon. You've got to trust each other. You cannot get out of this hole, not just in this game, but in the way their season is starting to go down individually. You have to have trust in one another that you can do it possession by possession, that if you get beat, someone's got your back. And offensively, they've got to stick together and do it. Right now, it looked like everyone was trying on their own to get out of a hole. You just can't do that in the NBL.
They desperately need to get this win as well. It's so crucial if they're going to make it through to the postseason. Every game at the moment, though, feels spicy. And tomorrow night, we continue our action with Tassie up against Brisbane, both gunning to cement their spot in the top 6. Tassie going for 8 straight. Don't go anywhere. We've got second half action after this short break.
36 family, it is time to talk about Key Assets Australia as we have been all night tonight. Did you know there are over 4,866 children in out-of-home care across South Australia? While many of us enjoy the holidays surrounded by family and friends, some kids didn't have the same chance to feel the love and support they deserve. That's why we need more foster carers, people just like you, to step up and help provide safe caring homes for kids who need the most. Kerry and Phil Knowles are those carers we're talking about tonight. Welcome to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Tell us a little bit about it, Phil.
About foster care?
Yeah, how did you get involved?
Look, we've talked about it a while over the years. We never actually got there. We were both working, raising kids of our own, and then always worked with that. And Kerry heard it on the radio.
You can see that it's challenging but equally as rewarding as well for the people who are considering. Can you talk us through that, how special some of the moments are?
Oh, for sure. I mean, look, the first young fella that joined us, they told us he had, not many chances, and he ended up walking the Dakota track. Woo! We achieved a lot.
And we love people like you, and I'm sure you're meeting lots of like-minded people and people who are also carers as well, because you're actually saving lives while also providing opportunities. So it must feel pretty special too.
Oh, look, it's so rewarding. It really is. To give these kids a chance that they might not otherwise have, it rocks.
Phil, Kerry, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll continue sharing that information on the score cube as well, and congratulations on everything you continue to do for so many families across South Australia. Well done. Thanks. Please give them a massive round of applause.
Great to have your company here in the Hungry Jacks NBL on a Saturday night in Adelaide as the 36ers and the States celebrate the 188th birthday of South Australia. Proclaimed a city in 1836, and that's where we get the name of the team from. But right at the moment, Perth have their number. They're leading by 13, and Kendrick Davis with just 1 point from the free throw line, none of 5 from the field. His season low is 11. His last 13 games, he's had 15 or more. Expect him to get excitable in the second half, remembering he had a career-high 37 when these teams clashed 3 weeks ago. But they've done a good job of putting the clamps on him. Good news for Adelaide fans is, though, this is the 7th straight game that Kendrick Davis has had 8 assists or more. And it's half-time.
He's in for a big one in that regard, but if you're Adelaide, these first 2 minutes are so important. If you try and get individual to get out of this hole, Perth are 2 threes away from blowing this game wide open.
So Marshall starts the second half ahead of Keanu Rasmussen, who has those 3 fouls. Marshall just played the 3 minutes in the first half. Here's Humphries. Chance for Adelaide to try and eat into this margin. Humphries one way, back the other. Aquera did a good job to stay in front of him, but can't prevent the 2 from Isaac Humphries.
Good footwork. We've seen that move from Isa his whole career. He did a good job of staying on the glass after he missed it. Now can they get a stop?
Wildcats back to their original 5. Dylan Windley inside. Almansa fires, stepped out of court in the process. Quiet night, just 1 of 3 from the field for his 2 points.
Would you go back to that, Pete? Isaac Humphries and David Aquera guarding him?
Has to. Isaac Humphries has shown he can be one of the most dominant big men in the competition when you feed him the ball in the right spots and let him get aggressive.
And did it against Perth 3 weeks ago with 25 points and 5 boards when Adelaide were playing without Montrezl Harrell and no DJ Vasiljevic as well. Good news is Sunday Detch is coming back for the next home game. Martin, rejected. Strong hands there from Dylan Windler. Wildcats have now got 5 blocks in the game, make that 6. And Adelaide 2. Almansa frees up Cotton. Nice wraparound pass to get Aquera the easy 2. First score in the game for Aquera. Assist number 5 for Bryce Cotton.
Bryce Cotton gives up the ball. Not only is your job not done, but it only just began.
It probably got worse for you.
It probably has. It really probably has. You're right. As soon as he gives up the ball, you should be worried about where he's going to shake you and run to create space.
This is the handle against Latmain, so he resets the maestro. Kicks outside Windler, who's been lights out. Caught that a little deep. It's off the mark.
I mean, Marshall, you dodged a major bullet over helping on that.
To the rag And the finishing touches with Terrell Martin. Couldn't get it initially and then is fouled on the subsequent play. He's off to the free throw line. Good penetration from Latmayan created that. I think Latmayan's key to this because in the first game of the season, Latmayan had 23, a career high against Sydney. Lost his spot in the starting 5 and has really struggled to get the confidence levels back up. And in fact, in the last game played when they lost to Brisbane here on Christmas Eve, he had 6 points in 25 minutes, 0 rebounds, 0 assists. And that's not enough of a contribution they need from him.
I feel like Lat could be key to this team, but because they're so pick and roll heavy, that means everybody else got a space to floor. I think Lat will really benefit from a more structured offense. I'm not saying all the time, but some of the times you have to have certain sets to get guys like Isaac Humphries where you know you're going to get a touch. Latmayan knows he's going to get a touch. Right now it's kind of freelance, kind of playing off instincts. Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't.
So you're saying the offense for Adelaide is broader than they've used at the moment as Cotton draws a foul on Nick Marshall and is off to the stripe for 3 free throws.
I'm saying it's terminal a lot of times. So yes, Kendrick Davis is going to get a lot of assists because the ball is always going to be in his hands. He's going to be the one to make the last decision. So I'm not surprised that his assist numbers as good as they are. But it just means the other guys are not getting involved as much.
Well, they're going to have to find a remedy to their problems pretty quickly at Adelaide because they've lost 6 of their last 7. They were 4th going into the FIBA break. And we know what happened against Melbourne in the game. They lost that game against Melbourne. And then since then, they've lost 6 of 7. Their only win against New Zealand here. And they've got 12 games remaining. And of those, 6 at home, 6 on the road. Now, you're going to need 13. Andrew Bogut said last night, maybe 12 wins will get you in. They've got 7 at the moment, so not writing off their season, but they need to take care of business, particularly at home, because on the road, they're 1-7 and have struggled for the last 2 seasons. As Latmayan comes to the party with a 3.
Now, that's a classic example. Kendrick took about 10 to 12 dribbles, didn't have nothing, kicked it out to Latmayan, who knocked the 3 ball down, but nobody else touched the ball.
Wendell lost the handle out of court. Adelaide were looking for a technical foul on Windler for kicking the ball, but Michael Aylen was of the opinion that he was trying to flick it up to himself soccer style.
He clearly was. I think everybody, Adelaide were just trying to get a fast one. So they've got a couple of stops. Can they knock down a 3 ball? Can they string it together?
Nice pass, Davis to Humphries, who stops and pops, can't complete it.
Stop it!
Behind the back, misses the finish. Opportunity missed for Humphries. He's got 8.6 boards at the moment. Almanza working backdoor in traffic, double team. Terrell Martin all over him. This is Cotton once more, trying to shake Nick Marshall. Looks back to Almanza, who fires, and he drops the 3. Perth have hit 13 triples in this game at 54%, and Adelaide have 4 at 26%.
I do like what Nick Marshall did there. Just tried to really get right up in Bryce Cotton and hope there was help. The help came from Terrell Martin.
Shot clock to single numbers as they work it back to Davis, who's fouled by Henschel. Expecting Kendrick to penetrate, and he just stopped and elevated and was caught him on the body. So free throws to come for Kendrick Davis.
Kendrick's got that in his bag. That's sneaky. That's that Damian Lillard. That hostage dribble, pull up for a 3, use your defensive momentum against you. And he's got offensive scoring pride, Case. He knows he's got 1 point coming into the 3rd quarter. He's not about to let this happen for 2 halves.
Still none of 6 from the field, Kendrick Davis. His lowest return is 4 field goals in a game this season. Expecting to get busy here in the 2nd half. So margin is at 10. Play 3.5 minutes, term number 3. Trust you're enjoying our coverage of the Hungry Jacks NBL, where you may be watching around Australia and beyond. Wildcats semi-finalists last season, looking to get back to the top 4 in 5th position at the moment. And a travelling violation is called on Dylan Windler. They turned the ball over for the 7th time. Adelaide has 4 in that category. Montrezl Harrell's about to check in with his warm-up shirt on. Well spotted by team manager Jazzy.
Good time to have these substitutions with Vasiljevic and Harrell coming in, because they've started the third quarter well. If they can get the crowd on their side with a couple of big plays.
Davis beats Vasiljevic, who pulls the trigger and caught it deep. Rebound comes to Montrezl Harrell, who works on Almanza, reaching in. Windler got a piece of it. And Perth are running. Cotton with numbers in support. And foul going to be called on Vasiljevic here, and it is called on the floor, not in a shooting foul.
Your defensive transition, you got to recognize, I thought Adelaide did a good job that possession. The ball got through hands. They got a good shot. Kendrick penetrated, hit DJ, but once you miss and Bryce is coming down in transition, you got to see, he's got to see a wall.
First foul on DJ Vasiljevic, 11 on Adelaide overall, 10 on Perth. Good interior work there from Windler to find the open man, created that for Almanza to throw down the dunk.
Willingness to share the ball so far tonight for Perth has been very encouraging. Dylan Windler put his head down. We've seen times players will try and force that shot up. He just drew the extra defender and found Almanza.
Kendrick Davis exploring, comes up with that first field goal now. He's up to 6 points to go with 9 assists and 2 steals.
Having DJ on the floor when Kendrick is dancing like that helps, because you can't help off DJ.
Pinder picks up the dribble, single digits on the shot clock. Waved away by Cotton against Rasmussen, playing with 3 fouls. Cotton likes his chances, goes on with the dribble. That's a tough shot from distance, couldn't get it done. Withers the O-board and muscles it up to come up with his first score in the game.
Those extra effort plays when you're trying to claw back a margin are crucial. They forced Bryce into a tough shot. Isaac came across to help. They can't secure the rebound. Withers is there to finish it. When you're trying to come back from a deficit at halftime, when the momentum's with the away team, they're crucial.
And Todd Withers is in the same vein of Hiram Harris. He's out there. Anything they really give you offensively is gravy, but they do all the little things.
And Hiram Harris and Withers actually teammates for Adelaide here back in 2021. Well, they headed west. Pass for Harrell set him a task. He did well to reel it in, but then Jesse Wagstaff was there. Cut out the pass. So inside 5 minutes remaining in the third. All done Humphreys. Denied Keanu Pinder the ball. Windler outside. This time is short. Comes to Wagstaff. Another rebound, and Withers fires for 3. That's off the mark. Wagstaff will be called for the foul and a wrestle there with Montrezl Harrell. His second personal, 3rd team foul on Perth in this quarter.
Adelaide still down to 12 points. Haven't made a major dent. At some point, they're going to have to make a run.
Jesse Wagstaff crossing over the 1,600 plateau in terms of rebounding. Game number 492 for him. Heavy contact under the bucket. Montrezl Harrell, Isaac Humphreys hit the deck. Perth come running. 5-on-3 fast break. They share it around now. Wagstaff for the triple. He started the play and he's going to finish it as well.
I said at the start, just a couple of threes away from really blowing this away. The crowd has been zapped of all their energy here in Adelaide.
As quiet as I've heard it all season, Pete. Davis beats Vasiljevic. Dane, he's long with the 3.
Had a couple of good looks from Vasiljevic.
4 of 17 as a team, Adelaide at 23%. Vasiljevic 2 of 8 overall.
Damon, this is what the good teams in the league will do. If you're struggling on the dry spell offensively, like you've had good looks from Vasiljevic, if you can't tick the scoreboard over, the opposition won't either.
100%.
Windler's been good. This time he's off the mark. Was 6 of 8 from deep in the first half, Dylan Windler. So he's missed 3 attempts since then as Kendrick Davis draws a foul. Off to the free throw line. Foul called on Keanu Pinder. Going to be his second personal.
Isaac is out there right now. He's probably going to get, he just gotten subbed out. Ice is running the floor, and this is the era of the big man has to run directly to the dunker spot. And if you're not at the dunker spot, you send the ball screen. I would love to have seen Isaac just run the middle of the floor, turn and seal. You got Jesse Wagstaff on you. There's a good chance you're going to draw a foul. But that doesn't happen. Ice gets tired after playing 6.5 minutes, and now he's on the bench. There's no interior presence. They don't have anything to really slow down the tempo to get themselves to the free throw line and get back in this game. Everything's going to be perimeter-based.
I'd like to see some flex cuts and flex screens to allow them to post up and get a bit of movement as now Adelaide go to a 2-3 zone.
He just hit up from outside, back-to-back threes.
He just hit one. You've gone to a 2-3 zone.
The margin balloons out now, 16. Game high. Rasmussen can't get the answering three. Davis for Lat Mayan, who works inside Wagstaff. Withers, who was injured in the previous play phase, reaches in. It's called for the foul.
I hear you, Pete. Everything is predicated off of Kendrick Davis and what decision he makes off of a ball screen. And that's what they're living with.
So Wildcats over the limit. Free throws to come here for Adelaide.
Coaching staff asking Todd Withers 3 or 4 times, are you good? And with no response, I'm going to say the answer.
Don't show a coach you're hurt.
Been a good pickup for Perth, though, playing in NBL 1 West there. Averaging 6 points, 3 boards, shooting the ball at 46% from deep, and averaging 20 minutes in the 10 games that he's played. So he's had to fill a vital role, and he's done it admirably.
Awesome. It's probably been understated because of the run that Bryce Cotton went on. But some key guys missing.
Keanu on Keanu. Case, Keanu just fouled a Keanu. We have never seen this in the NBL.
Joel Peterson, our good friend and your running mate on NBL now, was kind enough to inform us that according to the NBL database, Keanu versus Keanu, this is it.
What were the odds? What's that paying, Pete?
Gamble responsibly.
It's probably paying less for you to pronounce it correctly, but I think it's still incredible. He's going to foul, sit down with 4 fouls.
17-point lead. We started this term with Perth on top by 13. Adelaide got it back to 10 a couple of times. The Wildcats have got all the answers at the moment. They've restricted Adelaide to 15 points here in the third. Not only 16 in the second, Adelaide, which equals their season low. Harrell almost lost it to Cotton. Eventually gets it to Kendrick Davis. Shot clock, single digits. Wraparound pass. So that was ambitious. Windler got a piece of the action, and the ball trickles out of court. Adelaide turn it over just for the 6th time. Perth has 7 in that category.
It's a real nothing offense, though. Besides that aggressive pass inside from Kendrick Davis, which was on, and Harrell should have laid it up. They just stood with it on top of the three-point line for 20 seconds.
Bucket's going to count here. Interference. Montrezl Harrell doesn't like it. That's an explanation from Michael Aylen. We'll add the 2.
I was talking about at halftime, though. Oh, look here, the call of... Oh, boy.
He didn't hit the ball, but he slapped the backboard.
You've got to get out of this hole together on defense and offense. It can't just be, okay, let's just make one pass. Get it done.
Vasiljevic in the corner. His 3 is off the mark.
Crowd is stunned right now. This hasn't been the last 2 games at Adelaide that we've seen at home.
Windler charges at Kendrick Davis, draws a foul and off to the free throw line. You're right, Christmas Eve, it was a 21-point hammering at the hands of Brisbane. The last time Perth were here, they lost by 10. And sandwiched between that was the 17-point win over a weakened New Zealand Breakers. So after they started the season at home so solidly, it has just fallen away, and we're seeing it here in front of us tonight, just unable to get any momentum going at all.
It's two-pronged for me. It's Adelaide's lack of offense. Do we have to give Perth more credit on the defensive end? We have to. I mean, everybody's been saying, and me included, that Perth just are not a good defensive team, but here we are. They're holding them to 57 points with 2 minutes to go in the third. Credit must be given.
Wildcats in a good position as well. They've got 10 games remaining, including this game. 5 at home, 5 on the road, and only 3 games between now and the end of the regular season are against teams above them. So they're solid at the moment, 10 and 9, 5th on the ladder. We know how compressed the ladder is at the moment. They could make some noise. I think they get their team back. Doolittle is not far away. John really was non-committal on when he might return, but did say that he's not too far away. So that'll be a huge boost for them, because I think he's perhaps their most important player outside of Bryce Cotton.
Yeah, I'm with you on that case. I mean, we saw how good he was last year. We were seeing him walk around before the game. like he was a little further away than we could anticipate.
Won't get much easier for Adelaide either. They're off to Sydney on Monday. DJ Vasiljevic plays in the Harbour City for the first time since he left there. Andrew Bogut told us last night in Brisbane that he'll be welcomed back with open arms. The fans will love him. There was a little bit of argy-bargy between the Kings front office and the 36ers front office when he came back from the US and went to Adelaide instead of Sydney, who had first rights on his call. But Andrew Bogut was of the opinion that you win a championship with a team and you are forever loved.
2 championships, so yeah.
Yeah.
They got to let bygones be bygones, but that's a tough road. The next 4 games for the 36ers will tell it all for their season.
That's going to be a goaltending interference as well.
2 counts for Adelaide. Nerily Meadows was listening in to Mike Wells and the 36ers during the timeout.
I've got to say that Wells was pretty composed and just quietly speaking to the boys, trying to keep them on track. Montrezl Harrell, who's just sitting on the bench alongside them, said, we've got to play. They're not going to feel bad for us. We've got to play. As he gets involved here with Pinder and emotionally exerting a little bit of aggression as well. He's trying to get his teammates back in this contest.
That's going to help that defensive stop there. Trying to get the crowd into it as well.
Hendrick Davis, the handler, comes to Marshall. Montrezl Harrell works it to Vasiljevic. Busy had 8 points in the first 2 minutes he was on the floor, and Vasiljevic now has 12 in the game.
Perth are methodical enough on offense. They're not going to shoot any crazy shots early in the shot clock. They know who they want to go to. They get through hands.
Pepper from deep. He's off the mark.
Stop. 3/4 time.
Davis just stutter-stepped his way past Bryce Cotton, but couldn't finish it.
But now you got to get back on D.
Line Bryce Cotton.
Pepper penetrating, finds Windler rolling against Montrezl Harrell, gets the finish as well. It's an offensive foul. Dylan Windler saying, let's check this on the replay. John Briley looking for some advice from his bench as well. On the big screen, he's called timeout here, John Riley.
Don't challenge it, that's a charge. He's outside the restricted. He's standing there waiting for him with hands up. That's a charge, Pete, what do you got?
On the Amy replay right there. Well, John really called timeout to try and get some time to look up at the Jumbotron and see the replay, and he looked up and all the assistant coaches quickly shook their heads, so he's going to take a timeout instead. This has been a good end. It's been a good end. Adelaide.
Be mindful of the clock. If it's 38, 39, 2 for 1, otherwise let's get a great shot. Yes, their ball, their ball. We're back to our regular matchup. You've got to understand, if they go stagger, he wants to isolate. One side, hey, otherwise, last play, let's go. Wags, your corner, Dylan, BC, Pep, and then KP, your low. We're going Chase with Windler. If they rotate, we got Wags or Pep in the corner. I got you. Last play.
I love the detail. They know exactly, they got options. They got option A and B. It's not helter-skelter the way Perth plays on the offensive end. There's a hierarchy, there's a structure to it, there's a science behind it. Let's see if they can execute it.
I just wanted them to be aware. Dylan Windler? You and Dylan go way back.
So a little over 30 seconds out from three-quarter time. Adelaide just grabbing a little bit of momentum here. Vasiljevic against Cotton, and now marches inside and adds another 2. He's up to 14 points in his first game back after missing 5 with a hamstring injury.
Elijah Pepper locked into what John really said. When they go for those double staggers away for DJ Vasiljevic, it's all a diversion for KD to isolate.
6 unanswered points from Adelaide. Has them closing in. Bryce Cotton talking to referee James Grigor, wanting a whistle against Kendrick Davis. Couldn't get one. And now he's forced into error. Mayan needs to pull the trigger quickly and does! And it rattled around and jumped out of the cylinder. So Adelaide go into the three-quarter time break on a 6-0-1. The margin is still 15 though. And with a quarter to play, it's Perth 78, Adelaide 63, and the fans aren't happy. Stick around. All sorts of commotion right after this.
up a notch. We're going to take it up to the halfway line. So on my signal, you will put the Tyre Power tyres around your waist. You will run up to the halfway line. You will grab the basketball and you will dribble up the first person to make the layup while wearing your Tyre Power tyres. We'll get the $100 voucher. Ready, set, go. Put the tyres on, run up. Grab the ball, dribble it, and make a layup. Brent versus Simon. Who's going to win this? This is really awkward. It's around his neck, and wow, both of this. Someone needs to get it in, and it's not happening. No. Yes, we've got a winner. Finally, we've got one. $100 voucher. The other one gets a goodie bag as well, thanks to the 36ers. Well done, lads. Thank you very much to Tyre Power. 1 quarter to go. Let's get loud, Adelaide.
Saturday night in the Hungry Jacks NBL live from the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, and after being down by as many as 21, Adelaide grabbed a little bit of momentum toward the end of the third there, and they find themselves 15 points in arrears, so it's going to need the biggest comeback in the NBL this season at three-quarter time to get across the line for Adelaide. Perth with a possession arrow as well. What have you made of it so far, Damon Lowry?
Perth have controlled the game, and they're playing way better team defense, and probably this might be their best defensive game all season. And with a 15-point lead, the way they are methodical on the offensive end, I can't see them blowing it.
So Cotton, hands over. This is Henschel. Working against Nick Marshall, spinning to the right hand. Tough shot, but he gets it done. So 5 in the game now for Henschel. That's his first score since quarter time.
Tough, and I tell you what, this Adelaide crowd started to get into it by booing Bryce Cotton because they didn't like the fact that he was asking for a foul in that last play in the third quarter. Be careful what you wish for. They've poked the bear a couple of times.
Vasiljevic, a good look at it, but can't convert. A little ring rust, perhaps. As Henschel puts it on the deck once more and goes to work and comes up with a good finish. And Ben Henschel was excellent when they were here 3 weeks ago. Came up with 8 points in the last quarter, 8 of his 15. He finished strongly.
Scoring is not an issue for Ben Henschel, not at all. And Bryce is happy for him to score as many as he can because that's rest for him. If DJ gets himself an easy one, DJ's up to about 19 minutes of playing time. We'll see Case if he's still on the court at the 5-minute mark.
Well, this game's going. Might not have to be. They can't get stops.
Pass.
Oh.
It's too easy.
That's exactly what it is. It's a great find from Bryce Cotton. No, it's unselfish. 8 assists right now for Cotton. Well, where's the rotation? Just has not been there all game.
So foul's called on Almansa, his second personal. First foul of this last quarter. And we're going to see Janu Rasmussen check in, playing with 4 fouls, and Jarrell Martin will come into the game as well as Vasiljevic goes to the bench along with Montrez Harrell.
Sorry, DJ, you're on 19 minutes. Sorry, big fella.
0.8, so near enough to 20.
Nearly got to 20. He'll come back. He'll come back for another few, but with this, you're down 19. The only way to win it, to come back from this, is you got to get stops, and nothing is showing us, Pete, that they can get enough stops. So it's just a matter of time. All right, Jarrell, you got Bryce on you. Jarrell.
Nick Marshall outside. Kendrick Davis, perhaps the best look he's had tonight. Can't connect, though. 1 of 3 from long range, 2 of 10 from the field, 10 points, 9 assists for Kendrick Davis.
You see that? They don't have the patience, Pete. You get the ball screen. Jarrell's, they switched it. Jarrell's got Bryce on him. They don't have the patience to wait for Jarrell to take him down low and punish him.
See the crowd from the bench, from Perth. They're up and about on defensive stops and been locked in on those secondary, the third, fourth efforts defensively when you have to rotate for Adelaide. They have been non-existent all game long. Their first effort's been pretty good, but it's after that, who's helping each other?
Close range, Cotton off the mark. 16 for Bryce in this game, 3 of 8 from the field. All successes have been from deep, where he's 3 of 4. Martin picks up the dribble against Withers. Now Marshall. Took over 2 minutes played in the last quarter. Marshall exploring athletically to the hoop. Can't convert, but draws a foul. Chance to get his first score in the game from the strike.
Up until that foul by Ty Withers, I thought he did a great job in defensive transition. They come down, Bryce misses the shot. Ty Withers did something we don't see a whole lot of anymore, Pete. He actually stopped the ball 75 feet away from the basket, slowed it right down, and then just gave up the blow by Nick Marshall late. But defensive transition has to be at a premium if he's serious about winning games.
Let's get courtside to Nerily Meadows.
It's almost an eerie feeling in here, boys, as I almost try to keep my voice down as I say this as well. You can hear the Perth Wildcats bench talking to each other. It's so quiet, which is so disappointing. And there's warm applause almost for the free throws. But it's so disappointing because 9,500 here. They've sold it out 10 games in a row. They were desperately hoping that it would be finals on the cards for the Adelaide 36ers. We know how important tonight is for that cause. And the fans, well, they need the energy from them, but they need the players to lift to give them some energy.
Yep, 9-4, 9-5 is the crowd tonight. Another exceptional job by the fans, coming out in numbers.
Now the fans here do their job. It's up to the players now.
Kendrick Davis starting to warm to the task as well. So he had 9 of his 10 in that third quarter. He's now up to 12. That's 9 assists, had 8 of those at half-time. So the margin is 15. Time Adelaide challenge. Perth of an answer as they go to Pinder. Tough shot off glass. Comes up with the 2. So he's got 14 in the game now to go with 6 boards. Davis puts it on the deck against Henschel. Overcooked it from close range. Adelaide at 37% from the field. Taken almost 10 more shots than the Wildcats, who are doing it at 48%. As Cotton fires off the mark, onto the O board, keeps it alive. Pinder gets a good look, wide open. He can't punch it down either.
And this is what I'm talking about patience. Keanu Pinder's got Nick Marshall on him. Bryce, everybody saw it. They waited for him to go down there and post up, and he gets a bucket. This is the same patience that Adelaide are not showing to their bigs when they get mismatches. This is methodical by Perth. Good offense. They're not losing playing like this. Not tonight anyway.
Got 6.5 left on the clock. Catch with 10 scorers in the game. Here's Withers against his former team. He knocks down the triple. That's 16 threes in the game at 47% from Perth. Adelaide has 4 threes. Oh! The other end, Pinder rejects the shot from Humphreys.
Oh, now coming.
Margin out to 20 as they lob it down low. Munzer in a mismatch against Rasmussen adds to the carnage, and Mike Wells does call timeout. 6:01 left on the clock here, and Adelaide have got big problems. They're down by a game high 22 points. Perth doing it at both ends of the floor on the Amy replay. It's 91-69, Perth over Adelaide. Full credit to the Perth Wildcats. They've been great, Halls.
I mean, where's the effort in terms of where's all the help to recognise there was a slow walk up after the block? Harrell needs to be on that down on Manza. You've got to understand that there's mismatches. You've got to help each other. We just haven't seen that from Adelaide all game long.
Haven't seen it all season. The help D has been almost non-existent. Here's Humphreys from close range. Won't work for the big man.
You see how Isaac was just on the dunker spot, just wondering if he was going to get the ball. And then when he got it, he thought, oh, I guess I'll try to make a move.
Pinder takes it straight at him and draws a foul on Humphries. Going to be his third personal, second team foul on Adelaide in this quarter. But remembering the Wildcats are coming off their heaviest defeat of the season. They lost by 32 against Illawarra 6 days ago, and it was horrendous. In fact, their biggest loss in almost 6 years. But as they have done all season, I mentioned it earlier, 6 of their last 7 games coming off a loss, they've been able to get a win. In fact, they haven't lost back-to-back games since October, back in round 3. So they're resilient and they correct things that aren't working by the time their next game rolls around. It's a credit to Coach John Rillie and all the players.
100% best defensive performance they've had all season. Now, Case, Adelaide, they're about to go to 7-11. They're already sitting in 8th place. Their next 4 games, who they got? They're in trouble. Is DJ tees one up, gets it to go?
They are in trouble. They've got a lot on their plate. Let's get to Nerily Meadows.
Just listening in that last time out, and it was completely contrasted with three-quarter time when they were bullish. They'd reduced the margin to 15 points and they were up and about trying to support each other, and that hurts even further. But just in that last time out, Montrezl Harrell just kept on shaking his head. It wasn't the worst body language. Kendrick Davis, who just had the ball in hands, he was sitting on the bench with the towel and his head in his towel, really emotional, really frustrated. They're trying to get themselves back into it here, but geez, the body language wasn't great at that time out.
That's what I've been talking about since halftime. They're trying to do it on their own. You've got to look at one another and say, let's do this one stop at a time. Let's help each other out. Let's grind away defensively. Let's get stops, because they are a team that like to score the ball. They haven't been able to do that. They haven't been able to stop anything either. All of that, when you're just very internalized on it, makes it so much harder to do.
Here's Pinder working against former teammate in Humphries. Just bounces into the paint, can't convert, but a whistle on the play. And Pinder going to the free throw line where he's 10 of 14 already in the game. And Pete, that's been the problem, because all season there's been no help D because they've been criticised for the D. The players are guarding their own yard and are reluctant to go and help out. But as you can see, the summer shootout, well, it's coming your way. A chance to win 100K. Get involved very quickly because it starts January 4. So next Saturday here in Adelaide, 36ers hosting Melbourne and Brisbane hosting Sydney. Need to pick which team out of the nominated games is going to score the most points on the road. And if you correctly nominate that, you're a chance to win 100K. So get to the website for all the details. Here's Humphries going to work with authority.
Good pass by DJ, another willing passer off of the ball screen. Little too little, or is it too little too late? But look at this. Look at this. You get a layup on one end, a dunk on one end, and give up a layup. That's just no defensive heart. There is no other way to say that. There's no defensive pride they're showing right now, and we're just going through the motions.
Heady play from Vasiljevic as he draws a foul on Dylan Windler. Going to be his third personal, and free throws to come for the Adelaide captain.
That's what you're talking about, Damon. Watch Dylan Windler. The miscommunication with Kendrick Davis just in no man's land. It's not like we're highlighting this when the game's already out of the hand. This has been all game long. This has been throughout the entire losing streak. Their issues are glaring where you get so focused on where I'm supposed to be guarding that guy. Someone else has picked that up. You need to go and find someone. You need to have that hustle to want to make a stop to help your team.
Even little things like, how you huddle up and you come together and you talk about, you either cuss each other out or you talk about what we need to do. It's like when something happens, Adelaide go in like 3 different directions. They're not together right now. Can't believe it, because we saw it earlier in the season. They were together looking like a playoff team, and now their spirit looks completely shattered.
Something I'm going to have a look at when I go back and replay this game. Good block there from Humphries. It is exactly that. When there's a free throw, the huddles. How quickly you can get in there energetic and just quickly get to the point and then move on. Because especially in this second half, they barely even spoke to each other on the floor.
They were 5 and 3 at one stage. Adelaide in 4th position, and now 7 and 10 as Vasiljevic adds to his tally. He's now got 23, so a good cameo on the comeback trail from the captain. The margin is 20. As Bryce Cotton adds to the carnage, he's up to 19, including 4 of 6 from deep.
And 10 assists and 1 TO.
Davis off the mark. He also has 10 assists. Here's Vasiljevic, who's been busy. This time off the mark. Well done, Humphries, for the overboard and the putback. He's got an even dozen now.
Like this activity. Isaac Humphries, I think that's something they potentially can look at going forward. Reward the big fella.
Windler working on Vasiljevic, who was keen to give away a foul. And eventually succeeded. Third personal for him.
But when you've been a certain way all season, you just can't flick it on and turn it on now that you've played 17 games. This is your 18th game. You are who you are. And it is now being exposed, especially when you're playing the upper echelon teams in the league. And there's no hiding it. This is who Adelaide is.
Withers, he fires, can't connect. Adelaide have given up 100 points or more in 5 of their last 6 games. It was a problem for them on the road. All 8 road games, they've given up 100 plus, but at home they were able, with the fans behind them, to contain teams and keep them to a score that they were able to match. But now that appears to be coming from the road here to home.
I think it was more so that they could just outscore the opposition here in Adelaide because of the fans. Go back and have a look at their best defensive games. I think you'll find that most often it's just the team's had an off shooting night. There's just been no defensive identity. And I know that we spoke about it since the FIBA break as Rasmussen fouls out about how the NBL, the scoring is so high, and is that sustainable? The championship's still going to be won on the defensive end. When you get to a 3-game series and a 5-game series, even a do or die play-in game, it's going to come down to whichever team can get it done defensively.
Wildcats up to 105. When they played here 3 weeks ago, it was 115-105, Perth by 10. 105-82 at the moment. They've taken 28 free throws, Perth, the 23 from the 36ers, as Kendrick Davis adds to his tally. Now up to 14 to go with 10 assists.
Thing with that shot, if you miss it, nobody's touched the ball. Yep, he made it that time. But if you play like that in certain situations, great block by Isaac. If you got the other team in the bonus, you going to the free throw line, or the ball's got through hands first and then it finishes with that play, I like it a lot more than just doing it in the first 4 to 5 seconds of the offense.
Vasiljevic with the loose ball. Hindered to beat, reached in, dislodged the ball. It came to Davis, and that's some sort of finish and drawing a foul in the process.
Even look at this. Look how quickly Jesse Wagstaff grabs the Perth Wildcats in for a huddle. The game's almost over, and Adelaide are kind of just rolling with it. Those little...
The intangibles, Pete.
That's exactly right. They matter.
And Jesse's a leader. We seen Perth when they were struggling, when they was going on that losing streak last year, season before. A guy like Jesse Wagstaff was going to always pull the guys in.
And I get it, understand that you cannot do it now because the game's out of whack and you're not going to be able to win it. But what it does, it becomes contagious for the next time you play. And then the next time, and then that little crack continues to get bigger and bigger.
Davis exploring, finds Marshall, working on Windler. And now back to Davis. Skims off the rim, and Yenda grabs the rebound.
Nice one's a silencer here in front of this crowd after they booed him.
Beats it back. Pinder has had a good night, and he's going to celebrate with a 3 as well. 23 now for Keanu Pinder to go with 9 boards coming off the bench. He's been great, and the closer he gets back to his best, the more dangerous the Wildcats become. Margin out to 24 points, remembering Adelaide were torched by 21 by Brisbane here on Christmas Eve, and the fans are stunned.
I got to give Keanu Pinder, I'm a fan first and foremost of his game, but to be able to come off the bench, and I'm sure he feels that he's a starter, which we all know he is, to not let it bother him, to not let it affect the way he plays, still come out and play with the exact same energy. Good to see him rewarded with a big game today.
Elijah Pepper in the corner, can't convert. Monte Russo-Nance came up with a loose ball, so everyone getting a run here now for the Wildcats. Inside the last 60 seconds, Russo-Nance deflected by Humphries, partially blocked, came up short. Vasiljevic against Hiram Harris. Montrezl Harrell lobs it in low, looking for Humphries. Russo-Nance did a good job fronting the post. Came up with a loose ball. Aquera thought about the triple. Back to Russo-Nance, who fires and comes up with the 3. It's his first triple of the season.
Okay, Dante.
They are piling up the pain. I tell you what, one thing that has been very noticeable is this bench energy from Perth. All game long. celebrating each other's mini successes, not just shooting, even defense, deflections, offensive rebounds, energy.
Dante Russo-Nant's first triple of his career, I might add. Paddy Darcy's checked into the game as well. Can't convert. Brisky likewise. Perth
still out there.
Kendrick Davis is still on the floor. The only starter out there on the floor. Porquet. Nick Marshall. Did Nick Marshall start?
No, he didn't. I'm not sure why. Everyone else, this game's been over.
Here's Davis firing the triple and knocking down the three. He was none of 5 prior to that one going down. He's got 19 points, 10 assists. It'll look good on the stat sheet that this has been a forgettable performance from Adelaide, and full credit to the Wildcats. They haven't let up at any stage. Dante Russo-Nance enjoyed the first triple of his career so much he went back and got a second. They've hit 21 threes now, the Wildcats, the most they've hit in a game this season. Pregame, who's been good from deep, 80% if you don't mind, and he adds to his tally. But it's the Perth Wildcats who are going to prevail, and they've done it in style here. After leading by 15 at three-quarter time, the final analysis, they get home by 24 points. It's Perth 116, Adelaide 92. The Wildcats have won 6 of their last 7 games here in Adelaide, and you wonder about the prospects for the 36ers now.
I'm not wondering about them, Case. It's over.
Fork's in there?
The fork is in there. They got the top 4 teams in the next 4 games. And I don't see any life. Different if I saw some spirit, Pete. I don't see any life in them right now. I think they're just going through the motions. It's gotten real terminal. So, yep, we can just about stop talking about the 36 as far as postseason play goes.
I'm with you. If I could see some of that fight and some of that hunger and willingness, I might disagree, but not from what I saw in that game. And credit the Perth Wildcats. They came out with more hunger, more energy, and shot the lights out. 21 of 43 from deep on the road. An exceptional performance led by Windler, Cotton, Pinder.
They got 38 points in the last quarter. That's the highest scoring last quarter of the season in the NBL, which gives Perth the clean sweep. They've got the highest scoring first, second, third and fourth quarters. And of course, they put up points so quickly that no one will want to play them if they come across them in the playing game or in the playoffs, because at home their record's outstanding, 7-3, best in the competition. And they showed us here in this one that when they get going, despite the fact that they were coming off their biggest loss of the season, they've come up with a 24-point win, just shy of their season biggest win, which was 28 against Brisbane back in round 10.
And this was good about going on the road for an extended period of time, too. You get to bond a little bit more. A few more card games in the hotel.
Let's get some reaction courtside. Here's Nerily Meadows.
Dylan Windler, what a star, 24 points. You've got 6 from 11 from 3, but let me just go through some of the other numbers. 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 blocks. That was some night from you. You even seem pretty impressed with those numbers yourself.
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, obviously the win's most important, but I'm just happy to be a big part of it. I think we did a really good job on defensive end. Like I said, that was the key to the game tonight. And we did a good job talking and flying around, and it translated for us.
Coming off that 34-point loss, and John really had some really strong words. How important was it that you bounced back this quickly?
That's super important. You know, we only got 9 games left in the season now. It's crunch time. Every game matters. So we gotta take every game serious from here on out, and we gotta show up first and foremost and bring an energy. And tonight we did, and it translated.
It was your last game for 2024, so all focus now turns to 2025. But you personally, what a week! You became a dad. Merry Christmas, and now you get the win on the road. Do you have a message for your partner and your baby girl?
Yeah, I love them so much. I mean, it's been the best week of my life. She's the sweetest thing ever, and yeah, I'm just so happy right now. So I can't wait to get home, first and foremost.
Get home to those cuddles. Well done.
Yep, thank you so much.
Dylan Windler out, put like a player of the game. Adelaide now lost back-to-back games at home by more than 20 points. They've got problems. And we'll be back to wrap it up right after this here from the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, where Perth has won by 24 points.